We used to know how to have fun, right? Or to tell stories that knew how to have fun and have a good time and bring the peppy energy. That was the thing we were able to do, right? Have we lost that? Is it me? Am I the problem? I need a beer. From creators Mithun Gangopadhyay and Nishant Nayak and directors Colin D'Cunha and Archit Kumar, Prime Video's Do You Want a Partner is the latest series from Dharmatic Entertainment. Tamannaah Bhatia is Shikha, an apparent marketing guru based in Gurgaon who, after losing her job, decides to pursue her passion project of starting her own craft beer. She ropes in her best friend and apparent finance whiz, Anaita, played by Diana Penty. You'd think it would be tough to get this show wrong, at least on a plot level. All it has to do is provide the familiar beats of a by-the-book business story, assembling a team, creating a brand, the trial and error of perfecting the product, the constant hustle, finding your feet, overcoming endless obstacles, and casual sexism in the ultimate underdog story of underestimated female entrepreneurs in a flashy, frothy world. But nope, the makers here refuse to admit defeat in their earnest attempt to dethrone the royals and give us the dullest, emptiest, most irritating show of the year. In the name of mounting a light, breezy comfort watch, which we very much need more of, all these titles do is follow their low ambition, low effort template of a flimsy, wafer-thin narrative that coasts off of cliches and caricatures and give us nothing in return. One that's heavy on peppy packaging and music and montages and stuffing in as many animated supporting characters as possible to try to provide the illusion of enjoyment. So here, as the main antagonist, we get a sinister alcohol tycoon played by Neeraj Kabi who clearly recognizes the nothingness of the show he's in and has a blast hamming it up, trying to bring in some personality to a series that has none. We also get a snappy Sufi Motiwala as Anaita's one-liner spewing brother, Shweta Tiwari as a gangster loan shark, a sincere Nakuul Mehta as a temperamental brewmaster who loves beer more than life itself, and the always enjoyable Jaaved Jaaferi who deserves far better than this, playing a fake CEO and the beating heart of this series. The point is, these titles hide behind the smug, lazy facade that they're just fizzy, breezy dramedies, and so for us to hold them to a higher standard or any sort of standard at all makes us sound like moody buzzkills. If you don't like it, you clearly just don't know how to have a good time and loosen up. They aim high for the lowest hanging fruit and merely hide behind hollow packaging. But newsflash, here's the thing, fun takes effort and craft. Entertainment is an art form. Thoughtful storytelling, crackling writing, charismatic performances. You know what's fun? Mirzapur. Do you know what it takes to get that show and world right? You want something closer to this genre? Show. You know what's fun? Rocky or Rani, ironically from the same production house. You know how much effort it takes to nail that tonality and sensibility and pitch and make every moment pop? I wasn't a fan of Dharmatic's other series in this space, Call Me Bae, but at the very least, that was anchored by a glorious central character and wonderful performance that you can get behind. This doesn't even have that. Instead, here what we get is a poorly acted, terribly paced series that boasts of a half-assed, unlikely romance that feels like a last-minute decision, and sauceless cardboard dialogue that does nothing for no one. Over 8 episodes, Do You Want a Partner from writers Nidhi Setia, Nandini Gupta, Arsh Vora, and Mithun Gangopadhyay doesn't even land the bare basics of taking you on some sort of emotional journey to elicit any sort of human reaction. The only one who seems to be having a good time here is costume designer Lipakshi Ilavadi. If anything, entire scenes, like a conversation that takes place at a wedding, seem to live in service of giving the two characters another opportunity for a glamorous costume change. But if the wardrobe has more color than the characters themselves, you may have a problem. Do You Want a Partner is also credited with a comedy consultant, who I guess was sleeping on the job or was minimally consulted because I certainly couldn't find any winning moments of funny here. Perhaps it's because the makers don't realize that this series isn't actually a light, easygoing dramedy. No, it's actually a tragic drama about how an ambitious, greedy, impulsive, self-serving, reckless central character who has just lost her job, aka Shikha, gaslights and manipulates her simple corporate best friend, Anaita, into quitting her job and using her nanny's FD money and life savings to start a business she never wanted to be a part of, thus plunging her into a life of stress and criminal moneylenders. Forget her raging victim complex, Shikha has no visible business acumen and takes objectively terrible, reckless decisions, including forcing her mom to mortgage her house and essentially holding Jaaved Jaaferi's character hostage, and pretty much wrecking the lives and crumbling the comfort zones of everyone she comes into contact with. And we're supposed to root for this person. All this because Shikha's dad was a beer-obsessed man who mysteriously passed away at a relatively young age. Can you say raging alcoholic? I think the series expects us to pat it on the back for being brave enough for giving us a flawed female character or something. I don't know, I'm tired. Is there at least a winning connection between the two friends at the heart of this show? Nope. The two actors seem to operate independently of each other, and you certainly don't get a sense of any sort of lived-in friendship. As Anaita, Diana Penty is barely given anything to do, so they give us some boy drama. Tamannaah Bhatia has presence and perhaps too much main character energy, considering how deeply off-putting her character is. But these are certainly not performances that can carry an 8-episode series, which, after a point, blurs into an absolute slog. There's a surprisingly gentle flashback scene set at a funeral where you see the two characters quietly soak in each other's presence during a difficult time. In that rare moment, we see a promising spark of naturalness and ease. Similarly, there's a lovely idea early on where Anaita loses her voice, and the fact that she sounds like a man on the phone gives her more respect and attention from an army of sexist vendors. It's at times like these where you get an inkling of what this show could have been. We need more comfortably formulaic fluff like this that live entirely in service of having a good time. We desperately need more female friendship stories on screen, but not when it's this tedious. It's ironic that a show about two supposedly badass women navigating a man's world of business and beer reduces them to shrill, glamorous caricatures and little else, and has zero interest in showcasing their grit or ability or smarts. Honestly, at this point, it's a bloody miracle Made in Heaven even got made. Do You Want a Partner isn't just a show made for the era of ambient viewing, it relies on it. It would prefer you be scrolling mindlessly through your phone while it's on. That way you can loosely follow on in the background and hear generic, crowd-pleasing sound effects of music score and something that resembles dialogue, sketches and skits that resemble scenes, presence that resembles performance. That way you get a vague sense of fun being had so that you can gaslight yourself into believing that you too are having a good time. And so the cycle continues. The bottom line is Amazon Prime Video's Do You Want a Partner is a tedious, hollow slog. You can watch Do You Want a Partner on Amazon Prime Video. For more reviews like this one, subscribe to The Hollywood Reporter India.